Rhiannon rings like a bell through the night.
Hey everyone, today I bring you this look, which is loosely inspired by Maria Menounos at the Oscars. I'll insert a picture. This look is definitely a loose inspiration because I didn't really see any good photos of her makeup, but I thought the basic gist of it was a very warm brown smoky eye with some full-on black liner, definitely some false lashes, and just a really flattering universal type of look, which is why I decided to do it. Now obviously universal is used loosely because a lot of people are not comfortable with this much makeup or just smoky eyes in general, which is totally fine. If that's not your thing, then this is not a look for you. But if you're somebody who wants to try out a full-on look, I recommend starting with a look like this, or maybe not starting, but I recommend trying a look like this because it's going to bring out any eye color, particularly if your eyes are that beautiful brown that hers are.
In fashion time, I have always wanted brown.
But it is what it is. And also, I find that this kind of full-on look definitely elongates any eye shape. Mine are very small width-wise, and I find this makes them look a lot wider. So definitely worth checking out if you have more small eyes, but also big eyes, obviously. And again, if you have brown eyes, it's going to look super fabulous, but any eye color can really be brought out by these warm brown tones, as those like Jaclyn Hill have taught. So if you want to see how to get this look that I have here, please stay tuned. Okay, so you guys are going to have to bear with me because as I'm sitting here trying to think of all the steps I took, I can't remember all of them. Basically, you'll see why, but it's because we go back and forth with our crease colors several times, so I might forget a few steps, but I'll try to do my best. The first step I know for sure was to apply my base, which is basically the exact same color as the shadow we're putting on our lid, so it's going to really bring out our warm tones. And I haven't used this in a while, but if you've been with me for the past year or so, you know I'm obsessed with this. This is the Rimmel Scandaleyes in Bad Girl Bronze. I highly recommend this for anyone. And how I apply this is basically just wiping it all over my lid, blending it out, adding as much. I kind of start with a little and build it up. That way I don't just slather on too much. Okay, and today I am using some of my Makeup Geek and MAC shadows, like my matte ones, as complementary tones. Now, of course, I am using quite a few different ones, but if you're new to makeup or don't have all of these colors, you can definitely simplify this with using just one crease color. Now, the more you use, the better of a blend you're going to get, so keep that in mind. But again, if you don't have all these colors, you don't need them. I'm starting with Creme by Makeup Geek, which is kind of like soft brown by MAC if you have that. It's a warm tone transition color, so I'm just fluffing that through my crease. I'm using this to blend out the Bad Girl Bronze on our lid, and I'm going to go back with this like a million times throughout this just to blend. Okay, so I already did my base on the top. Now what I want to do is head to the bottom. The great thing about using a pencil as a base is you can get it on the bottom as well. So I'm just going to smudge that down there gently. You don't want a ton, and then just buff it out with my finger. And then what I'm going to do is pretty much, I'm always repeating the steps on the top on the bottom because this look is very much like symmetrical. So I'm taking Creme Brulee and taking that a little below my base and smudging it. It's going to go pretty low, but once you have all your liner on and stuff, you're going to be glad your eyeshadow goes lower because you always want it to go below your eyeliner. So smudging that there and really buffing that out. You want it to be as soft as possible down there. Now personally, I like to add my highlight colors before I start in blending too much because I find if I have that area like set with a lighter color, if I'm blending too much, it won't get quite as dark up there, which definitely don't want. So I'm taking Vanilla Bean by Makeup Geek. It's your basic highlight color. You can use any one you have. So I'm popping that through my crease, or sorry, not crease, brow bone. And then I'm also going to go in with my inner corner color, which is highly metallic because you want to make sure that's very highlighted with a look that goes all the way in like this. This is Shimma by Makeup Geek as well. It's a champagne color. Kind of warm up that crease even more, darken it up, and make it so it's going to transition well with our lid color. This is Swiss Chocolate by MAC. is a darker version of that last color with more red in it versus that one's a little more orangey. So it definitely is like a matte version of our lid color. So I'm just popping a little of that right through over where Creme Brulee was. And then we're going to go in with our main lid color, which is pretty much the exact same color as my base. This is Earth by Jane. I have mentioned this a few times, but it's absolutely gorgeous. I highly recommend going to Ulta and picking this up. It's super warm toned and shimmery, and actually looks a lot like the color that Maria Menounos was wearing. So I'm just really packing that on the lid to make an intense lid color on the bottom. So I'm taking Jane on a pencil, or the Jane color on a pencil brush, and smudging it down there, really blending it out. I believe my next step was just to blend that out, and to do that I just popped on a little bit of Creme Brulee through the crease again. Okay, and then I wanted to darken up my outer corner a bit and add a bit of a even warmer tone. This is in Bark by MAC. It's similar to the other colors we'll use. I'll show you it versus Swiss Chocolate. You can see it's darker and also has a bit more of a purpley tone versus this is just a little more red. So it's just going to darken up that outer corner nicely. And the way I'm applying that is actually with a pencil brush just to get a little more precise. And I'm going to basically just trace out your outer corner. The beauty of the smoky eye, you'll see this is very messy as I do it, but with a smoky eye it doesn't matter how messy it is when you apply, because you are blending it out so much. So I apply that and then really buff it out. You can go back in with some Creme Brulee, I believe I did, and just blend that out. I'm also going to go ahead and take that on pencil brush on the outer corner of my bottom. Again, repeating those steps and really buffing that out. At this point, mine was looking a little unsymmetrical and messy, so what I did, whenever you find that you're gone up a little too high or you need to clean up the shape, the easiest way to do that, I mean, you could also take makeup remover, but I found the easiest way to do that is just to go in with like an angled shadow brush and vanilla bean, and you can really trace out your shape with this and clean up anything that's gone too high. So it's not going to be perfect, but it's just going to kind of haze out the edges of your eyeshadow and make sure it's nice and soft. At this point, I was pretty satisfied with my crease colors, so I just went in with a little more Jane, patted that on the lid to make sure it was nice and intense, because at that point it really had gotten hazed out a lot, and I just wanted to make sure that we had some definition left on that lid. So reapply that. The basic gist of a look like this is you want to apply more, blend out, apply more. It's just very much a repetitive process, but that's what's going to make it, the more steps you have, really, the better it's going to look. Liner, today I'm using what I always use with a night out look, because it stays in place on your waterline like no other, and you can also use it on your top, so it's really easy. This is the L'Oreal Infallible liner and Liqueur liner in Blackest Black. You can see mine's well loved. I'm using that with the brush it comes with, making it super simple. And what I do with that, I start in my waterline, so I just take the brush and run it there, and rather than tightlining with this because it can get kind of scratchy, I just apply a decent amount to my waterline, blink it upwards, and I find that's just a little more comfortable way to do it. You can obviously take it and actually put it on your tightline if you want. I've done it, it's definitely possible, but I find this a little softer. And then also I'm taking in my inner corner, but her shape is going all the way in, and that's really what's going to give you that elongated shape more than anything else. So my line is I'm going to take it from the outer corner of my waterline and pull it up. I find that's the easiest way to trace out your wing with a gel liner, and it's going to just get your wing shape in for you before you do your upper lash line. Now, as far as my upper lash line, I'm just pretty much doing a basic line. The most important parts of doing your line are connecting it to the wing as well as your inner corner and making sure it's pretty even all the way across. We are going to take an eyeshadow to soften out the shape, so if it's not perfect, don't worry. I know for sure mine wasn't, but the eyeshadow will really help you with that. So just get your line on and you're going to be done with that. And what I like to do after I apply a liner like this is just give it a couple minutes to set up, because once it's set, it's not going to move, but you don't want to start smudging it too soon because you're going to get super smudgy look. Now the next thing I'm going to do is go in with a black shadow. The best one I found has been Creme by Geek. It's really pigmented. Like you can see, I get it on my fingers just by picking it up. So I'm taking that with an angled brush, and I'm going to be softening out that line. Now the shape I'm going to, or the motion I'm going to be doing is with an angled brush. I'm going to be kind of pressing it in and then sweeping it out. And what that's going to do is soften up the line and any like blank areas it's going to fill in, but without totally smudging it out, because you don't want to do that. You want it to be defined but just softened slightly. So by placing and then slightly gently sweeping outwards, that's going to do that. And you don't want to sweep inwards, because then you're going to end up getting too much black in here. So just sweep outwards, and then after you get to the wing, you can just kind of pull it out gently, and it's going to really soften up your wing if you didn't get that right on, because I did not. I'm not perfect. Now for the bottom, that's going to look obviously a little harsh too. My favorite tip as of late has been taking whatever brush I used for my crease. Personally, I used a blending brush for that. And I just fluff out right below my bottom, or my waterline is. And I find that helps to soften out the line on your waterline without totally smudging it downwards. And it's just going to set it in a little better. And then after I do that, just to pull some black onto my lower lashes, I'm just going to take Corrupt, same angled brush, and just gently wiggle that onto my lower lashes. It's going to blend out the line on your waterline, set it in, and also just make it even smokier down there. I did go ahead and touch up my inner corner highlight, because especially with that black in there, I thought we needed a little bit of a spruce up, so I just took Shimma again, put that on the inner corner, and then because I felt like I got too much of it and it wasn't looking very well blended, I took a little bit more of Earth and just blended right in the top lid, so it blended out that color a little bit. And at this point, I had a lot of smudges out here, so what I actually did, I did this off camera, but I took a makeup remover wipe and just wiped off and cleaned up the edges. Obviously that means you're going to have to touch up your face makeup. Actually, with a look like this, you might want to do your face makeup afterwards. I didn't, but it might help. They're done, and then it's time to do your lashes, which of course is what's going to pull everything together. If you're not comfortable with false lashes, you can skip it, but I do think with a look this dramatic, false lashes make it look 10 times better. So I did go off camera to do this. If you want a whole video on how I apply false lashes, I would be happy to do that. Just let me know below. But the ones I use are the Eyeliner 083, depending what you want. This is just the Falsies mascara by Maybelline. Put that on top and bottom, and really, I personally was wondering if this look was going to look good. But once I did lashes, I was like, yes, this worked out okay, so that's good. Okay, so that is the eyes completed. Obviously, it's a lot of steps. The basic gist of it, like I said, is blend everything out, you know, clean everything up that you need to, and wait till the lashes are on to see how it looks, because that really makes a difference. Now for cheeks, I didn't apply any blush. If you have a nude blush, that would look good. I made sure my cheeks were nice and bronzed. With a look this dramatic on the eyes, you want to make sure you have color to your skin, so I really did bronze it up quite a lot. And then for the lips, I went for a nude combo. I didn't show this, but what I used was 2 products by Maybelline. This is from their nude collection. It's Blushing Beige, which you can hopefully see is just a neutral kind of nude. It's got enough peachy and enough pink to really be, I think, pretty universally flattering for lighter skin tones. So I did that, and then I personally find nude lips don't blend in with my lips all that well, so a gloss will really help. And this one actually is quite pigmented, so it did darken up the lip a little bit, which I think ended up looking better. This is Caramel Infused. It's a Maybelline Elixir. There's also one called Nude Illusion, which is actually a lighter nude if you just want to go with that. But anyway, that is my glossy nude lip, which I would recommend for this look. Even I would not tempt a dark lip with this eye, but obviously it's your personal preference. And that is the finished look, finally. Okay, so I know that was a lot of information thrown at you. With a look like this, you can't really skip that many steps, so hopefully you guys followed everything. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this. If you did, be sure to like it below, subscribe to see more from me. Probably not this dramatic, but maybe. And I'll talk to you all very soon. Have a great day. Bye!